Canada is broken, guys. Or, well, correct me if I'm wrong. It's been going down, and a lot of people have been leaving this country as well. And I want to cover this, guys, in this video. I just want to share you how Canada has changed over the past 12 years since I've been here. And yes, I do expect some people saying go back to your home country on my video, for sure, because, well, social media is a place where you get a lot of hate too, especially if you come out and you start speaking up your mind, guys. I want to say, guys, some people claim Trudeau broke it, or, who did that? I would love to know your opinion on what is actually happening, guys. But today I'm going to make an optimistic video. I'm actually surrounded by multi-million-dollar homes by really wealthy Canadians, and I have a nice Costco cup here that's looking luxurious, so at least something good, guys. Now, let's start by saying that things have been going down, guys, and it's been going down for a lot of people. 10 years ago, guys, or 12 years ago, since I came here, guys, I want to tell you. So I think it started breaking down even maybe before Trudeau. Some people would say after Trudeau, but there has been something interesting going on. There's some tendency, but I want to know your guys' opinion. Of course, guys, let's start off by saying that, yeah, I don't know if this much of immigration is actually sustainable, guys. If so much of people, like for example, like look at Canada's population, it's not that big. There are some cities, guys, where it's like a couple of 100,000 people only, but the immigration goals have been like over 1 million a year. Guys, you remember I was making a video, and if you look at Justin Trudeau just like a year ago, and this, what, Mark Miller? Oh, no, not Mark Miller. What's this guy, immigration minister's name? Doesn't matter. He was coming out all enthusiastic and pumped up, saying that how immigration is good for Canada, how we need more immigrants, and how it is beneficial for our infrastructure and economy, guys. But I just want to show you, guys, that's a Waiters Flat Park, basically, guys. Fish Creek Provincial Park. And what I like, guys, about Canada is that people still do have this kind of benches and things like that. It is still a beautiful country, but it's a country on decline, unfortunately, guys. I want to say, when I came to Canada 12 years ago, I came here as an international student, and now the government of Canada is actually limiting international students. But when I came here 12 years ago, immigration has not been as insane as it was, especially after COVID. Like the explosion of immigrants coming to Canada was just unsustainable. And unfortunately, I have to agree with government of Canada right now. Well, first I have to agree with the opposition because they brought it up. But if Justin Trudeau is talking about it now and Liberals are talking about it, changing their policies 180 degrees, maybe there is something to it, guys. We have been having so many people coming into Canada, people with putting in a lot of money, and guess where they would be going? They would be going to Toronto and Vancouver mainly, not as much as Calgary. Now, guys, I want to say that Calgary is actually a pretty nice place, and Alberta is generally more like a conservative province. So, in a way, I made the right choice moving to this place, in 2014, 2 years down the road in Canada to finish my immigration. And honestly, I didn't think much of after Toronto, because from Toronto people say, what is that Calgary, what is Alberta? That's nothing. We are like the center of the world here. And I moved here disregarding all of those comments, and I'm glad I did, guys. It was the best choice of my life. When I came here, look at the real estate prices. I remember the lady I was renting the property from, her name was Alma. I know, Alma, if you're watching this video, hi, it's Igor. Yes, I'm an international student. I made it, I stayed, I became Canadian. And anyways, I hope she does watch this video at some point. I don't know where she is, but it would be awesome to see her one day again. And I was renting a room in her house, basically. She was basically like a host, and it was quite expensive. But hear me out, guys. At that time, I was talking to that lady, and we were living in Scarborough, Ontario, and she was telling me, she's like, Igor, can you imagine this house that I own at that time? It was like 2012. It's like $750,000. It has all gone up in price by so much. And she was telling me that not too long ago, before I came to Canada, I don't know all the details, guys, because I was so new, my English was suffering. and she told me she purchased it for about 450, and now it is like 750. It went up by a lot in price. Guys, by the way, check this out. This house is the street I am on. Super beautiful. Oh, yeah, it's working. I just want to make sure my camera is working properly too. And she was like, it's super expensive now, and I'm so lucky I got this property. And guys, 750, that same kind of house, last time I was checking on that street is like 1.5 million or more. Like, I don't even know what the price is for that property right now, but it was like 12 years ago. And I remember when I was leaving Toronto, everyone was saying, oh, 900,000 properties are in 900,000. And I was talking to people there in Scarborough and Toronto. Everyone was saying it's a housing bubble, it's unsustainable, it's impossible, it will never go over $1 million. That's just not possible. Wow, guys, surprise me. It all went up over multiple millions for those kind of properties that they were talking at that time. And guys, yes, now if you look at this entire situation, guys, just before pandemic, and this is why I remember Alma. That's why I remember the lady, because it's interesting, guys. Hear me out. The patterns for Calgary, what's happening. And then we'll talk about Canada in decline as well. So, first thing is, I purchased a home for $465,000. And right now my home is worth probably about 700-ish something. So, and I'm thinking, it was almost the same thing that Alma told me in 2012 when I came to Canada. I literally purchased a home, probably close to what she purchased her home in Scarborough at that time. And she was thinking that's going to be the limit. It's not going to go higher. But she was a like really religious lady, and she was really, like religious person, and she was saying that she's just blessed for that to happen and things like that. But I'm looking at that, and I'm like, is that the ceiling for Calgary real estate? Is that the ceiling for the housing affordability? And it wasn't there. It wasn't the ceiling there in Ontario. And now we have a similar situation happening here in Calgary, Alberta. Just think about it for a moment. Now let's move on. Why did that actually happen? When I used to rent, okay, we used to rent a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom condo, and we paid $1,150 a month on Danforth Road and Scarborough as well. Tell me if you have such prices there right now. Now, when I moved to Calgary in 2014, my first rent, guys, and the rents have skyrocketed. My first rent was, I think it was, well, the basement. First, it was a basement. It was like $800, but then it was like a condo. It was $1,050 at that time. Right now, you could get a shabby looking condo, maybe for $1,750 in downtown. Some not so nice one. If you want a good condo, $2,200, in Calgary, if it's a couple of bedrooms. So, it's not that cheap. It's actually, the rents are up as well. And the houses, like I was saying, they went up by a lot, by hundreds of thousands of dollars. Literally, those people who purchased homes a couple of years ago, like just before COVID, the pandemic situation happened, like those people who purchased 3 years ago are probably up to $50,000 in net worth. Those people who purchased it 2 years ago are probably net $200,000 in their net worth. And then these guys, oh, you're thinking they made money. Guys, you're thinking that realtors are just like pushing the prices up and things like that. But is it really? Guys, is it really the houses that went up? And I'm not talking about these houses. Like, guys, I just want to look at that huge big ass camera. Look at it. That house has 2 gigantic cameras, probably 8K resolution looking at me, probably better than my camera. I'm recording myself right now. This is like this street is like $4.5 million houses I'm taking you in Calgary. We are not even in Toronto. This is luxury real estate close to a park. I'm just on a rich street today, guys. I'm in a community where you could still find houses super cheap, but like probably 10 times cheaper than these ones. behind me, and there is like 3-car garages and stuff like that. This is like where rich folks live. So I decided to take you to a nicer, because people complained on my video saying, hey Igor, why are you taking us to streets where the houses are not looking nice? Like, guys, look at the size of the boxes people keeping outside. You know, it's pretty safe. Like, fingers crossed nobody is stealing stuff in Calgary, like let's say like in the United States from Amazon. Well, at least it's not that I'm aware of, and not in this community. But anyways, guys, I want to say that you know, inflation and the houses prices, and you're saying, well, housing prices is good for house owners, but hear me out. How can you buy a house like that where an average Canadian family just making like less per Canada, just like, let's say, $60,000 a year? You know, so the salaries are super cheap in Canada. You know, like super cheap. Like I said, some grandfather just standing and looking at me walking with the camera. So yeah, the incomes of the people are super low. And if you look at it, also a bunch of taxes and things like that happening. So there, seriously, there's some. I think I'll be harassed now because I'm recording here. So there is a. I hate when that happens, guys, but let's see if it happens. So I want to say, guys, the taxes are also huge. So let's say if you net $50,000 after taxes in Canada right now, how can you buy a property like that in this price range? Now we are also having this carbon tax. We have other kind of taxes. The property taxes have been going up as well in prices. And of course, guys, like if you're in Ontario or British Columbia, you'll see land transfer fees, provincial taxes, municipal taxes for transferring your real estate. Looks like I'm not going to be harassed after all, which is great news. I hate that when that happens, but it does happen. People are really concerned, especially when they have a palace, beautiful looking house like that. 12,899. Look at that beautiful house. Look at that. Wow, I love it. But anyways, I just wonder how long it would take me to vacuum clean that thing. Well, you know what? If you have that much of money, you can probably get a cleaner as well. Because it's going to take you a week to just maintain that entire house in a nice condition. Anyways, guys, I want to say I'm inspired by this, guys. I'm telling you about negative things, and I'm looking at some people in Canada still do have money, and that's beautiful, guys. It still shows that Canada has lots of opportunities and no need to cry around like I'm making in this video, you know. But I'm just saying that the carbon tax, guys, is insane. We are in a country that is basically a northern country where it's always winter, like almost always winter. But I mean, my hands are freezing right now, you know, and you have to pay an extra tax for heating up your freaking house, guys. Can you imagine that? And I also want to say that with all of this taxes comes up to like 30%. Then we also have another tax, which is equity gain tax. You know, I think equity gain tax is another ridiculous joke, because it's like literally, oh, well, inflation increased your price of your property, right? So, okay, so we will literally, you know, like I know some senior guy who is like, Igor, I purchased a property, you know, like 1992 for like $100,000. And now, if that person sells the property for, I don't know, $700,000, what's the current price in Calgary? The Justin Trudeau is going to reach out to his pocket and take 40% of tax of that property as an equity gain tax. Basically, they, you know, liberals managed to tax the inflation. So you're paying 40% tax on inflation itself, guys, which is freaking crazy. Okay, let's go other direction. There's a guy cleaning leaves on his house. I don't want to be disturbing him, and it's going to be too loud on the microphone once we get close. But I'm just saying, guys, they're making money out of thin air in Canada and charging you through the nose. Everything is taxed at a higher rate. And also, guys, you know, I just want to say that, look, they're saying they used to say we need a lot of immigrants. We need more people, and it's just people's incomes have been going down. The housing market was freaking out of control, and I know about housing market. I'm a real estate agent. I work with the EXP Realty as a realtor in Calgary, Alberta myself. So I help people buy and sell houses. And I work mainly with buyers. Well, you're going to see me put in a bunch of listings for sale now. I'm working with a lot of sellers now too. But I started my career off working mainly with buyers, and it's very difficult and disappointing to see when, like, even right now, I have a bunch of clients who are sitting and they're like, Igor, like, how the hell am I supposed to buy it? I can afford a condo, but I want to have a house because the family is big and it's a really big family, but I want to buy a house and I don't want to live in a condo. And I want to get those people a house, but it's out of their budget. And it's not their fault. And those people are working multiple jobs, really multiple jobs. I'm telling you guys, there are families that are husband and wife. Each of them has 2 jobs and still cannot buy a freaking house in Canada. And those are not youngsters. Those are not like, Tim Hortons employees or something. Those are like really hardworking, mature families who are fighting for that. And what's the option? What's the option for them to get a property in Canada is to put their daughter and to put their son on a mortgage. But let's say, guys, if you put your daughter and your son on a mortgage, don't they want to own their own property? I mean, what is this? Multi-generational homes or something? Like, seriously, Canada is broken. Like, if you have to put your entire family, all of your relatives on a title of a property, on a mortgage application to get that kind of loan, and everyone is honestly and hard-working individuals, I think that's a freaking ridiculous situation, and it's pretty bad. It's only good for those people who have their houses paid off for a very long time, but then that too, they are punished for not having a mortgage, for not having a debt, for for paying the equity gain tax, let's say, which is ridiculous. So yeah, I think, guys, Canada broke. Yes, yes. I'm filming for my YouTube channel. Oh, because I'm a real estate agent. Yeah, yeah.
And so we're very suspicious of anybody walking around like that. Okay.
Sure, sure.
Okay. So I don't know why you need all this footage.
Oh, it's for my channel, for my audience.
Well, how about you move your audience to some other neighborhood? Okay.
I live in this neighborhood.
Well, that's okay, but still, please, respect our privacy because, like I say, we've had a lot of garbage theft.
I have nothing to do with that. Respectfully. Have a good one. See, guys, I actually thought I'm going to get harassed eventually, and people, garbage theft. What is even garbage theft? I don't even know what the garbage theft is. But do I look like I'm going to steal your garbage? Maybe. For those people who are so rich, I might be looking very poor. Maybe I have to change myself a little bit and look more professional. Maybe I look like a broke person to rich fellows. Maybe. Let's see. Anyways, I don't care. Let's get back to the topic. I think, guys, there is a way to fix Canada. Actually, guys, there is a way to fix Canada, and I think that it's going to get better. It's still a country full of opportunities. Unfortunately, we don't have the right people, in power, and probably right now, and things are changing. But I also see something important right now. Even though we might say we don't have the right people in power, the country where I come from, for example, those people they have convictions in terms of like what they are planning to do. So for example, those people who are run me over now. This is a strange people. Yeah. So, yeah, really strange people, guys. Is it just me, or is it like I want to read your comments about this entire interaction about these communities? Like, is it just like I'm attracting such people or something, just let me know in the comments down below, because guys, I'm really do not like people approaching me like that and telling me to get out of a public street in my city, in the community where I live. You know, it really frustrates me like that, especially when I didn't do anything wrong to those people and somebody's stealing their garbage, which I don't even care, and I have like nothing to do with that. But anyways, so yeah, I think, guys, government of Canada has changed a lot, and they changed before the election came. And I think that there is a sign. It's a good sign that even liberals, you know, even the government that made a lot of mistakes, is trying to fix something before the end of their term. And I think it's a good sign. I think it's a sign that Canada still is a freaking awesome country, because where I come from, they wouldn't change. They wouldn't do anything differently from what they're doing. That's that's all it is, guys. And you know, they would just keep on uh, going with their policies if they don't work, and they wouldn't let go their policies until the end of their term. I think, guys, that it's great that Canada is still a better country in that sense. Alright, guys, thank you so much for watching. I had a couple of more points I wanted to cover, but I got distracted by those senior guys who approached me in a very passive aggressive way. I guess I'll end the video. I want to read your comments, but it's fine. See you guys soon. Bye for now.